Billy, let's move right to the important issues of the day, shall we?
Yes, I would say David Poile retiring is a little bit more important than your golf game, George.
Yes.
The only GM in the history of the Preds, he announced today that he's going to retire after this season. And Barry Trotz, the franchise's first ever and winningest head coach, will take the reins as GM on July 1st, 2023. George, I mean, we were talking about this off air. We've talked about it several times. That's the guy you said was fit for the job, Barry Trotz.
Well, let me now kind of tell you what I've thought I've known for a while, because I've been saying things on this show like the elephant in the room is Barry Trotz. About a month, 6 weeks ago, I found out that he was attending games and they were doing a really good job of getting him in a suite where nobody could see him. And that was a smart thing on the franchise's part. The other thing, I got a report from a friend who shall remain nameless, Watson, that Barry and John Hines went across the street one day to the Hilton, and Barry had one of those little magnetic coaching things, where you move pieces around, like, okay, for the power play, you go here and you go here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that, I was like, there's something to this.
Yeah. And I'd heard they were decent friends prior to all of this too.
Yeah.
So no, I think that's a good move. I really do. Barry's been in the business long enough. He can be a GM. He's been around it. I think this is a great move for the Preds. Amazing, George, in the history of Nashville and these professional sports, that both GMs go in the same year. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and George, there's a big move with Tanner Jeannot being traded. Also, Nino Niederreiter being dealt. The Preds have turned those two players into a first-round pick in 2025, a second-round pick in 2024, a third-round pick this year, a fourth-round pick this year, and a fifth-round pick this year, and also former first-round pick Cal Foote. So they got a lot in return for dealing Jeannot and Niederreiter in a move that I think most Preds fans are happy with.
Yeah, I think they need to do more of it. And I think they need to be open to some people they're not open to. Let me go back on all of this. In the hockey world, your lifeblood is the season ticket holder. It just is. You don't have a lot of TV money. The TV money is minuscule compared to some other sports. Predator season ticket holders have not been very happy. And I know that. I'm one of them, and I hear a lot of it leaving the building on certain nights. I have believed for a while that this was the only way out of this thing. David, like a lot of general managers, this is cyclical. You have some years where everything you do works perfectly. And then you go through times, much like John Robinson did with the Titans, where virtually nothing goes right. And I think David has been in one of those positions here in the last couple of years. And, the franchise has been hurt because of it. They've got some players right now that they need to get rid of, Matt Duchene being at the top of the list. And Watson, unless they're prepared to eat some of Duchene's salary, I don't think they can move him.
No, I don't either. I promise you they've tried. I promise you they've stuck him out there to different people to see what the reaction would be. A lot of money, George. A lot of money. And then you look at the productivity, and everybody is trading right now for the run for the playoffs, right? And for the Stanley Cup. And the money don't reach the productivity. They're not going to be able to trade him. That's just the way it is.
But this is also the time to do the trading because you can oftentimes fleece. I think Tampa got fleeced in the Tanner Jeannot deal, but they decided he's a piece they need to win a Stanley Cup. So they, in my opinion, overpaid for him.
No, they're trying to make their run again, and that's what they thought. They've dealt more this year already, George, than I think they've dealt in the last 3 or 4 I've been
Yeah.
associated with you with them, and so I bet you it's not over yet.
No, I'm hoping it isn't. I'm hoping that they really clean house in this. Now, what you would love is a scenario where while you're doing this team catches fire. They're 6 points out of the 8th and final playoff spot. The truth of it is more of the last 2 wins may well be San Jose and Arizona stink.
Yeah.
That's something you got to be honest about.
Yep.
Pittsburgh comes in here tomorrow night. Sure, it'd be great if they went on a 10-game winning streak and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they caught lightning. Hope they do. Don't honestly think it's going to happen.
Well, and you got to think, was this move a little bit strategic with the timing of it? Maybe earlier than they might have wanted to, because maybe they go on a run, like you said, George. Maybe the locker room changes or shifts a little bit. You got to wonder that. But the Preds are in a spot where it's in front of them. I mean, they can go on that streak and they still can get in, but you got to start winning. And I'm sure we'll get to that with Guy